When the ego outshines your skill, you're never going to reach your full potential in my eyes because you're doing a lot of this and not showing your skill.
Welcome back to Fishing Without Bait, a lifetime without definitive expectations, where we're continuing our conversation with our good friend Zeke. One of the challenges I've found with some of my friends and some of the patients that I deal with is there's healthcare barriers involving.
Oh yeah, there's especially for certain groups of people, especially Black women. I heard this quote and it stuck to me. It's like doctors and nurses are to Black women what cops are to Black men, and I was like, yep. I have many aunts, many friends who are afraid to go to doctors. You may not think you may not even think about like, oh, we're gonna go to the doctor, so annoying. But to go to the doctors as a woman and to constantly talked over, or every symptom is somehow related to your weight, like which is so gaslighting. Or there's like the biggest thing, there's not a lot of medical research done on women. If you didn't know that, like women in general, just there's most things that we knew from the human body were done on like experiments and social like studies that were the group was white men of different age groups. That's not everybody. We have Black people, we have Native American people, we have people from India, people from different that have different genetic pools, different conditions to worry about. Like sickle cell won't affect Caucasian Americans as much as it affects African Americans.
Right.
And the fact that we only base our knowledge on what happens to white Americans is like, oh, here's the guidelines for everybody. Is like, it's insane. It's a weird thing like, oh, this applies to everybody. It's like, it can't. My cholesterol may be higher than your cholesterol, but because you base it on like what white people were studied at the time, especially at the time, well, I have high cholesterol now. You see what I'm saying? Just naturally.
Well, genetics is very important.
Mm-hmm.
We always look at where people come from. Even when I have new patients, I do a genetic background. I do a history of their family, whether with drug addiction, any type of addiction, any mental illness, any reoccurring health issues. All that stuff's very important.
Yeah, and it varies population to population.
Yes.
And that's what people do not understand. Unfortunately, science is, as much as we say it's changing, it holds on to a lot of like old-timey traditions, if that makes sense. There's still nurses and doctors out there that say Black babies don't experience pain as much as white children, or Black people in general have a higher pain tolerance, and that's literally a medical fallacy. Like it can be proven wrong so easily.
Most people base their choices on beliefs, not facts.
Yeah, even the most educated of us. And also, I think that's also American tradition as well. You can trace that back to Manifest Destiny. That we rather just believe.
Well, I think we're experiencing Manifest Destiny again.
Oh, I don't think it ever stopped. That's my hot take.
Well,
that's my hot take.
It's definitely become more.
It ramps up. Yeah, it's like
in your face.
Yeah. I feel like there's like it's like they shifted like certain gears. Like, all right, we're progressing. We'll mess with Syria, but we'll keep down the by. But now we're like fifth gear. We want that country. We want that country. Like, we've always been that way. I'm reading a book on the history of the United States. Like, it's called The Empire of the United States, of just how we took land and how it became like how we got Hawaii, how some people didn't know we controlled the Philippines for a while. It's like, we've always been an empire.
Here's the way I describe it, Zeke. Country A has 3 apples. The United States wants apples. Now how many apples does Country A have?
as many as we allow them to have, honestly. Because we're doing that to a lot of places. And going back to history, the fact that I think a lot of people in this country do not acknowledge the culture and history of this country, we're going to be repeated. You know what I mean? That's also accepting that you're just white versus like, I'm Irish, I should connect with people who are starving because my ancestors literally went through a famine. That's why I'm here. And the fact that some people can turn around and be like, I'm glad USA ID is gone. What? Like, I'm pretty sure everyone, if your ancestors, will love to have some US ID and have some actual money or supplies or people coming to help them and make sure they don't lose their farm or their land or their culture. But yeah, dude, like, don't worry about the people who are literally in your position now that your ancestors were like 200 years prior.
Well, we're dealing with people facing social discrimination, stigma, mental health issues, legal issues, legal challenges. It just seems to be, in order to conquer something, you have to create an enemy. Okay? So what's going on in America, they seem to create the people who have the least amount of voice, and that's the gay population, transsexuals, women. So they're the problem.
Immigrants, yeah. But like, we can't say that we haven't seen this playbook before. You know what I mean? Like
throughout history.
It's throughout history, and that's another like. And I was like, we've been doing this like forever. You know what I mean? Like, and then people are still surprised that we were doing this.
We're all playing on the same team, and I think we forgot that a long time
ago. Because like I tell people, as many people like that, it's like the same time the civil rights are going on, we had worker strikes at the same time, and a lot of those issues crossed, and we had coalition. But we have people who believe I can make the poorest white man think they're better than the common Negro.
Yes.
Well, now when I want to have a union job or someone's have a union job, maybe those Caucasian workers will purposely exclude black folks, the standalone black folks in the union. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, we forgot that we worked towards this idea, and then you're like, well, I don't want you in here because I don't believe. Like it's amazing how what we done once or certain people got to certain things and we just shut the door, even though we all got there together.
What do you say to people who believe that orientation is a choice?
You're lying to yourself. I'm not going to be inflamed here. I'm not going to be like, oh, but if you're saying to me that my orientation is a choice, I believe that you made a choice a long time ago, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And when people say it's speaking from experience, because everyone who actually know, like, very much knowledgeable, no one picks who they are. I didn't pick to be 5'4". I didn't pick to be blind, right? I didn't pick to decide if I wanted to love another man or not. That was happening to me. That was going to happen. But if you're saying to me it's a choice, you made that choice. How would you know I made a choice? You made that choice.
The last person who told me that sexual orientation was a choice, I said to them, so you chose to be straight?
Yeah.
And he said, no, I was born this way. And then I ended the conversation. I just went, okay.
Yeah, like you just answered you just literally walked yourself into that circle. I'm like, but they will sit here and say it. And I'm like, but that means you made a choice then. Like, do you get what you're saying then? If you're saying the fact that you're straight and you chose that.
But we don't want to get into a confrontation with people to try to prove them wrong, because it's easier to fool people than to convince them they're being fooled. So why like you said, hate promotes hate. So we don't want to hate anybody.
I just want you, if anything, I want you to be educated.
In the 12-step world, Zeke, we say that bitterness and resentment are the dubious luxuries of others. We can't afford them.
We can afford a lot of things. I think, especially if you let the bitterness like eat you up, like especially if you don't recognize that you're bitter about something. Goes to wrestling, goes to life, goes to recovery. Bitterness is a companion, but it's a poison. It's an albatross around your neck, and you don't really realize it's there. Your bitterness can turn to depression. Your bitterness can turn to anger or substance abuse, or just plainly just making very destructive decisions for everyone around you and yourself. So it's like, it's there, but you have to acknowledge that it's there. You have to address
So you engage in a sport that is fueled a lot by testosterone cowboys. Okay. So how does that relate to you?
It relates because at one point I was full of testosterone. But I mean,
oh, hi, Jim Ellermeyer back again from Fishing Without Bait. And as we offer and express transparency, this is a shameless plug for a book that we are selling. This is a 365-day calendar where we have a Zen type of picture to draw with a caption, and then we ask some thoughtful questions that people can answer, such as, what are your general thoughts about the quote? What is the morning thought in the morning? What is your evening thought? And what will you do tomorrow to spread kindness? Okay? And the beauty of this is that it's not numbered. You can pick any page out. It's not numbered. You can pick any day out and pick any quote out you want, or not. So what we're doing, we're asking people to use this as some type of a mindfulness activity to start their day. When we start our day, not trying to race through the day or with anxiety, but rather maybe some introspective self-talk, some internal validation. And what we're doing here is this. Also, what we'd like to do, we're going to be offering some Patreon material, maybe some behind the themes things, or some of the podcasts that we've done where we take a deeper dive, and we'd like to get your thoughts on that. What would you like to see? Are there any podcasts that we've done where you would like us to do a deeper dive? So you can please contact the show, and we'd be glad to explore that. And as always, we're looking for stories of recovery. Everybody's in recovery from something. We like to know how you got here from there. And please be good to yourself. And yes, this is a shameless plug.
To be in an egocentric entertainment field, testosterone is also like a common thing associated with ego, right? A lot of guys who are taking testosterone or have a lot of it and want to prove they're the best. That's not because they're, working hard. They have an ego. Being a wrestler, you have to understand, I think truly to be a great wrestler, you have to understand that there's ego and there's actual skill, right? When the ego outshines your skill, you're never going to reach your full potential in my eyes, because you're doing a lot of this and not showing your skill, if that makes sense, right? A great doctor is a great doctor because you heard the great things he's done as a doctor, not because he gives speeches every 2 weeks about how he's a great doctor. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Right. So it's egocentric. It's a lot of testosterone. Everyone's butting heads. And all I've ever done is, at best, just try to show you that I'm competent in this. I don't have an ego because I grew up thinking that I was going to be the best wrestler. I have the possible skill set to be it. So I'm going to let that show. I got nothing to talk about. Like, if you think I'm good, awesome. You think I suck? Well, that's okay.
So how do you feel that you're accepted in that community?
I honestly think I'm accepted in some parts of the wrestling community. The way I think, and frankly, some of politics around wrestling and real life, because I know life imitates art. So some pockets of wrestling, I'm very much accepted. This, that, and everything. I'm awesome. There's some parts who just don't like the way I think. It may not be because I'm black. It may not be because I'm a trans woman. It may just be, oh, well, you believe in not, for the first month of their them training, work exercising the new greens to death and make them want to quit. Like, why would you want to do that? You know what I mean? But they were like, oh, that's how you weed people out. I said, well, it seems like 45 years of doing that bred the worst type of people. Like, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like people who are so gung-ho to be superstars are narcissists. That they want to go through it. You have to build an environment for people to grow in.
Build an environment for people to grow in.
Instead of
putting yourself in a position to succeed.
Yeah. So I'm like, you can make a crucible if you want to. That's fine. But you got to understand, you're going to make very volatile people.
Have you found people in your circle or your life that after they became aware that you're a trans female, that they distance themselves from you?
Honestly, if I can, because I tell people I have a bad memory all the time. Even though I am transitioning, and I tell the people that that are close to me, and a lot of times the wrestling I forget to tell people. There's been like a good 2 months so far of me just like, oh, by the way, because like when I'm here, when I'm trying to help people learn to wrestle, or at the show, I can bull crap about the Steelers or whatever. The last thing on my mind is the gender, because I believe people treat me the same for the most part.
People are incredibly judgmental.
They can be, but at the same time, I always say, like, you can judge me all you want, but you have to respect me. You can hate me. That's fine. You can punch me. You try to punch me, fight me, whatever. Argue. Dislike every post I like, but you gotta respect me. You have to. And if you don't, I will show you why can you respect me. Either my skill or I'll just make you look dumb. It's going to work out that way. Not because I'm trying to be egotistical, but you're talking to someone who's like, in my case, I'm skilled in what I do. So if you want to judge me to be a trans woman and not anything else, there's wrestlers who are like abusing their wives. There's wrestlers out here who are like neglecting their kids. But you want to judge me for doing something that's doesn't hurt anybody at all. Like, okay, let them.
You're doing no harm to anyone or
No.
anything.
No, I got nothing to prove to you. Who am I trying to impress?
I like that.
Like, exactly. Like, wait,
I like that.
go ahead. Like, yeah, do you want? Oh, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. Okay, and you drink beer every day. I don't agree with that. And or you know,
Are you comfortable with yourself?
Oh, very, very, very. I mean, the only reason I don't have many quote unquote like girly clothes because I literally just started like a year ago, and clothes are freaking expensive. Have you seen the price of what the stuff women have to buy? Like, it's amazing. Like the pink tax is that's another. I'll get off that soapbox. But like, it's like also at the same time, this is my comfy clothes. I can wear this no matter what. Like what I'm wearing now, I'm wearing a shirt and pants. I was always like a grungy looking kid. So I don't think my style will change too much.
But you were a nice kid.
I was always a nice kid. Like where would you
weird but nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's one time I think we actually posted today because we promote the training on like Facebook for 880. There's like a little video of me like walking as I'm yelling, like not yelling, but like coaching them through a drill. And I'm wearing like what's it called? Colorful overalls, a tank top over it, and my head scarf. If no one knew that was me, they're just like, "Oh, who's that lady in the right now?" So you're like, I'm comfortable where I wear. Like, you're not going to tell me any different. The only difference I haven't show up in 880 and a long skirt because it's too damn cold, and I'm not doing that to myself. But in the spring, you may see me with the queer code villain jacket on and a skirt, and I'm like, "Yep, this is who I am."
Well, what we talk about is if you treat people with courtesy and respect, you generally get the same.
Oh yeah, generally, yeah. I mean, there's some people who are fake, but I don't care what people wear. You know, I tell people, as long as you're like clothes, I'm not going to get us arrested on public decency. I mean, I really don't.
So if you had
if
you had to take anything out of your life that wasn't serving you anymore because you found that it wasn't beneficial for you, I call it planting flowers and pulling weeds. And next week we're going to continue our conversation with Zeke Mercer and a free prescription that you can cash anywhere, which is fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Unplug your television and take up fishing. And for a truly mindful experience, we suggest that you fish without bait. Do a kindness for yourself and do a kindness for another. Forgive yourself and forgive another. If we're all not the Creator's children, then none of us are. Till all are free, none are free. Namaste.
Please check out our website at fishingwithoutbait.com, where you can listen to the show, comment on our discussions, and find out where you can subscribe to our podcast. If you're interested in flying the colors of Fishing Without Bait, click the shop icon on our website. We have clothing, mugs, cell phone cases, and so much more. Show the world that you fish without bait. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.